Hi there, fellow programmer. We're here to invite you to board with me in the Python Sea. Yes, I'm gonna take you on this ride to learn a little bit about Python in this website called learnpython.org. So this is the command we use to print messages that the user gonna see on shell. So if we change this line for "this is my text," okay, and run the code, the print message will be right here. I already had run it, so this is the text, the original text, but this is the new text. So every time we change the text here, the print function receives this string and we send it to the shell. Another time, so how are you, fellow user? If you run it, when you run it, the text is showed here. So this is the way we can communicate with the user. We print messages and then we receive what he inputs. So one thing that is very important in Python is indentation. This is the way we use our spaces here to tell to the interpreter how the code is organized. So here we are using 4 spaces to indent the code. That means that this print message here, x is 1, is in the if statement. So only if this if statement is true, the print message will occur. That means that if I put the print right in the same indentation of the if statement, that means that this is always printed. But if we use the tab key or the 4 spaces, this only will be executed when this statement is true. So if we run the code, the x variable is initiated with 1, with the integer 1. The if statement tests if the x variable contains a number that is equal to 1. If this is true, it's the same thing that if we change it to if true, because the interpreter takes this logical tests and replace it with the true or false result. If here we had the number 2, for example, the if statement will result in a false result. So this will not be executed. If we run the code here, if we change it back to 1 and run it, this will be true and the code will show to us x is 1. Now let's see the little exercise that the website proposed to us. This is a print message, goodbye world. Very depressive, right? He wants us to change the message to hello world. So the only thing that we have to do is change the word goodbye for hello and run the code, and great job. This is what he expected us to do. Very simple, very easy. Now, continuing, we're going to see some variables and types initiating with numbers. So here we have one variable called myInt that is initialized with the number 7, and we make Python print its value on the shell. Let's see what he does. There you go. Number 7 is here, so very easy. Now, here we are defining a float variable. So here we are defining a variable called myFloat, and its value initially has the number 7, but here we use the dot to tell the Python that it's a floating point number, not an integer number. So when we print this, we're gonna see the number 7, and here we can convert it to float the number 7 that is an integer, because we didn't put here the dot 0, but this function converts the integer value 7 to the float value 7. So when we print it, it shows the same numbers. Strings can be defined by single quotes or double quotes. That means that we can use this or this when we are initializing a string. So this is the same thing as this. When we run the code, the text hello is showed here, and the text hello is showed here also. So you can ask me, why the hell we're gonna use this or this? When we want to use the single quote inside the text, we're gonna use the double quote to initialize and to finalize the string. So when we run this code, the single quote appears inside the text. Now some operations. We can have the add symbol here to add integers, such as this 2. We can also use the same operator to unite this string with this string with this string. And this is, we can continue to do that as long as we want. If we want to put another string here, no problem. The same thing here. So if we run the code here, the first value showed is the sum of the the 1 and 2. The result of this operation is stored here, and we print it there. So the number 3 is showed here, and here we join all these texts and start in this variable here. So when we show it, there you go, we have this string, this string here, then another string, and so on. We can use tuples in Python to assign variables, more than one variable actually, at the same time. So here the variable A is receiving the number 3, and the variable B is receiving the number 4. We could use, for example, another variable here, but the numbers of variables on your left has to be the same number of values that we have on the right. So if we put 5 here and we print, for example, A, B, and C, when you run the code, you will see that all these 3 variables were initialized as we wanted. And to finish the video of today, we're going to do this little exercise here. So the none represents that we don't have any value in this variable. So it's not a string, it's not an integer, it's not a float, it's nothing. It's none. So initially we have nothing here. We have to change this code because he wants us to that this variable here, my string, contains the hello message. So we can use double quotes here or single quotes, doesn't matter. So we put hello here. The float number has to have the dot, so 10.0, and the integer number, my int, will have the 20 value. So here he's testing these variables to see if the variable is equal with hello. He will print this string. If it's a float. This is what this function does. And this float is the number 10. He will print it either. And if it is an integer number here in my int, and this variable contains the number 20, we're gonna show as well. So if we run the code here, it will put the contents of these three variables. You can see here that the float number is more precise than the integer, but here are these three variables. I hope you enjoyed the lesson for today, and in the next video we're gonna see lists. So here is a very important lesson, and see you next time, guys.